Hi everyone, so today I am going to talk about what managers should be doing when someone has been off sick with a mental health problem. Now, most of the time people don't know how to behave, they don't know how to talk about mental health, and when someone's been on long-term sick they just ignore them. So stop. What I would say before you even get to that point is make sure that you have trained your staff, you have clear policies and procedures in place, but also that when someone goes off sick, you keep in touch with them, but you agree that method of communication with them. So for example, you might say to them, a normal policy is that we would email you on a daily basis or a weekly basis or whatever it is. However, how would you prefer us to communicate with you? So you basically just agree it with them. Don't avoid that person because it can make them feel really isolated. That's the starting point. The next thing I would say is agree some welfare meetings, but don't push it on people. Often when someone's sick because of mental ill health, they don't want to communicate like the deep-rooted issues to their employer. They're also not in a good place to have somebody come to their home. They don't feel like that's a very safe thing to do because they're not in the right mindset. So don't push people, but equally have regard for the fact that, if they are on long-term sick, they would want to come back soon. So keep that dialogue open. And once they are ready to come back, discuss a phased return, ask them what adjustments they need to come back and keep those under review. Don't just bring them back, put them on a phased return and then that's it. They need ongoing support after that. So schedule regular one-to-one meetings. I would also suggest that if you have access to occupational health, you could bring them in to support and facilitate the reasonable adjustments that you might need to put in place, such as reduced hours, home working, other different types of flexible working, or moving their desk if they need a quieter space. There's loads of different things, but everybody's different. So you can't just do what you did for, Bob in last year's mental health issue that you had at work. It has to be specific to that individual. So that's really, really important. So the next thing I would say is that it's the small things that count. It's the really little things like asking someone if they're okay, especially where you usually text somebody. Keep texting them. Like, don't treat that person or exclude them from things, because that actually can have a bigger impact than on some of the larger things that happen in the workplace. So always remember it's the little things that count. Definitely include people with mental ill health in everything. Don't exclude them because you think they might not want to come. Don't assume anything. We're all like normal, if we can say normal, but we have up days, we have down days, we have good days, we have bad days, and it should be our choice whether we engage in any workplace activities. So yeah, I think the key thing is that consistency. Don't treat people differently because of a mental health problem. Integrate them back into the workplace and make it clear who is there to support them once they're back, and help them manage their stress, their workload, and implement any reasonable adjustments that you think would alleviate any disadvantage that is potentially faced by them, because ultimately they've been off because of a mental health problem. So it's going to take a little bit of time to adjust to get back into that mode of working, but also it's considering the ongoing impact. So what we don't want is that person to then relapse and go back off work and have to start again. Ideally, we want them to come back to work and enjoy meaningful employment. And if they do that, they can then empower other people and show them that actually you can come back to work after a period of sickness, whether that's short or long term. Despite having a mental health condition, you're more than able to effect a return to work fully. So I'll put some resources within the link underneath here. I'd also recommend you look at Mindful Employer, some amazing resources there, and hopefully this has been really helpful for you. But if you do have any questions or you want me to talk more about another area of returning to work, then please do get in touch and I'll see what I can do to help. Thank you.